So from this lecture we will start the Z transform, and this is also pronounced in some countries like Z transform because they pronounce Z as G transform. So if we go in our continuous time domain signal and system analysis, there we see that to get the frequency domain picture of any aperiodic signal, suppose we have a aperiodic signal like this is t and this is xt. Then to get the frequency domain picture of this kind of signal, we use Fourier transform. A Fourier transform for a given aperiodic signal xt is defined as xf, means it gives what is the strength of signal at a particular frequency. It is given as integral minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus j twice pi ft dt. Okay, and if it is expressed in omega form, so it can be written as x of omega will be equal to integral minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus j omega t dt. You might be knowing this thing in your communication system, from your communication system part or from your control system part. You might have studied these things. This means the Fourier transform provides a frequency domain representation of aperiodic signal. Frequency domain representation of aperiodic signal. Now, if we look at the inverse Fourier transform, if frequency domain picture is given to us and we have to realize the signal itself, then this can be done using inverse Fourier transform, which is defined as integral minus infinity to infinity x of f e to the power j twice pi ft df, and if it is expressed in terms of omega, it can be represented like this. Okay. Now the generalized form, if you see x omega over here, and you remember what is coming in this expression, and if you see xs in Laplace transform, this is the expression for Laplace transform. Here it is x omega, or you can say x j omega. This is xs. This is equals to integral minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus sigma plus j omega t. So simply this minus j omega, you can say that this j omega is replaced by sigma plus j omega, means another term sigma is coming in the picture. Okay. So this we can say that Laplace transform is quite generalized form of Fourier transform. Laplace transform is quite generalized form of Fourier transform. When this sigma becomes equal to 0, we can say that the Laplace transform becomes equal to the Fourier transform. If sigma becomes equal to 0 in this expression, Laplace transform and Fourier transform, they coincide. They become same. Okay. This means we can say that the Laplace transform is generalized form of Fourier transform. And this is basically used for the analysis of continuous time system. Continuous time system. And this is used for the analysis of continuous time signals. This is used for the analysis of continuous time signal as well as system. Not only system, but signal as well as system. So quite compact form of the representation of this Laplace transform is integral minus infinity to infinity xt e to the power minus st. Okay, where s is equal to sigma plus j omega. This was the Laplace domain picture of or S domain picture of your signal xt, S plane. This is the picture in S plane. Now, if we observe for some same kind of thing in discrete time domain, but before proceeding for that, let us observe some more point in respect to the Laplace transform. The complex quantity S is equal to sigma plus j omega generalizes the concept of frequency to complex domain. Okay. Laplace transform exists if this term which is coming in the integral is absolutely integrable. This term is absolutely integrable only if only in this situation the Laplace transform exists, otherwise Laplace transform does not exist. So, this it is clear that for certain specific choice of sigma, this Laplace transform exists, because this term becomes integrable only for certain value of sigma, and we say that that value of sigma for which the Laplace transform exists, or the integral becomes integrable, or this term become integrable, gives the region of convergence. The value of sigma for which it becomes integrable gives the region of convergence. This I am talking for the Laplace transform. Okay. Now, if we proceed in the discrete time domain, this means for discrete time signal and system, if we talk about discrete time signal and system, then the integral there, if you recall, the integral in Laplace transform was, this is xt e to the power minus st dt. This was xs. Here the integral is configured in the form of summation. Integral becomes summation in discrete time domain. This xt becomes xn, and this e to the power minus st becomes z is to the power minus n. Okay. So, for discrete time signal and system, we define a power series xz. Xz means z transform of signal xn. This gives the z transform of signal xn, and it is defined as summation n ranging from minus infinity to infinity x of n z is to the power minus n. So, this is the defining relationship of z transform. This is the defining relationship of z transform. Okay. Now, we can also write that the z transform xz is equivalent to the z transform of the signal xn, or xn when transformed in z domain becomes xz, or if we perform the reverse transformation of xz, we can obtain xn through inverse z transform. Okay. So, these are some starting point. Now, this z transform exists only if this power series is absolutely summable, only if it converges, and this power series converges only for certain value of z. Okay. And the value of z for which this power series converges defines the region of convergence of the z transform. Okay. Region of convergence. So, the region of convergence of xz is the set of all values of z for which xz attains a finite value. This is the region of convergence for a certain z transform, is the set of all values of z for which xz attains a finite value. Okay. So, simply speaking, we can say that the z transform is an alternative, or we can also say that it is more informative form of the representation of a signal. So it simply gives an alternative way to represent this signal, or it is quite more informative form of representing a signal. Okay. So now I will proceed for some problem. Suppose we have a signal represented in discrete time, like this is the signal represented in time domain. Now we wish to represent this signal in Z domain. To represent a signal in Z domain, we will find the Z transform of the signal. Okay. So what is the defining relationship for the Z transform? Xz. And since it is the Z transform for signal x1n, so we will say it as x1z. Okay. And what is the defining relationship? Summation n equals to minus infinity to infinity xn z is to the power minus n. Here n is the time index. N is the time index. For time index n equal to 0, if we expand this series for various values of xn, here value of xn for n equal to 0 is 1. Value of xn for n equal to 0 is 1. x0 is 1. x0, we can expand it like this: x0 z is to the power minus 0 plus x1 z is to the power minus 1 plus x2 z is to the power minus 2 plus x3 z is to the power minus 3, like that. Okay. So this is n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, and going this way we have to proceed up to x5. So x3, x4 z is to the power minus 4 plus x5 z is to the power minus 5. Okay. So what is x0? It is 1, and z is to the power 0 means 1, plus what is x1 is 2, z is to the power minus 1, plus 5, z is to the power minus 2. Am I right? 7, z is to the power minus 3, and 0, z is to the power minus 4. So 0 means not needed to represent. Okay. And then 1, z is to the power minus 5. Okay. So z is to the power minus 5. So this is x1z. Now this is a power series, and we have z domain, complete z plane represented like this. This is real part of z, and this is imaginary part of z. This z can take any value. Okay. In polar form, z can be represented as z is equal to r e to the power j theta, r e to the power j theta, where r can take any value. So for which value this z will attain some absolutely summable form, or it can be absolutely summed up. This means the region of convergence, the region of convergence is entire z plane, except z is equal to 0. If we put z is equal to 0, this will become, the whole sum will become infinity. Okay, because this is 1 by z or 2 by z, this is 2 by z, and if we put z is equal to 0, the whole sum becomes infinity. Then the z transform does not exist. So the region of convergence is entire z plane except z is equal to 0. So except this z is equal to 0, we have the region of convergence is entire z plane. Got the point? The region of convergence is entire z plane. Okay. Now we will take another signal, and while taking different signals, the things will become more clear to you. Suppose we take another signal x2n is equal to 1, 2, 5, 7. The same signal, but the time origin is different. Okay. 0, 1. you can observe many views of the same signal. Okay. Now you see the time instances. This is 0, this is -1, this is -2, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and what the defining relationship says that x2z is equal to summation n equals to -infinity to infinity xn z is to the power -n. This is the defining relationship of Z transform. So what are the various value of xn are here? X -2, because a value of xn is available at n is equal to -2. X -2, z is to the power -2. Okay, plus x -1, z is to the power -1. Okay, plus x 0, z is to the power -0 or 0, whatever you say. Okay, then x1, z is to the power -1, this value. Then x2, z is to the power -2, then x3, z is to the power -3. Am I right? So what is x -2? X -2 is 1. The value at n is equal to -2 is 1. 1 z is to the power 2 plus x -1 is 2, z is to the power 1. Then 5, z is to the power 0. So this is equal to 1, not needed to write. Okay. Then plus 7, z is to the power -1. 0, z is to the power -2, and 1, z is to the power -3. Okay. Now you see that this series will converge for all the value of z. If we look the picture in z domain, this is the real z and this is imaginary z. This will be finite for all the value of z except z is equal to 0. For z is equal to 0, this part of the series will contribute to the infinity. Okay, and for z is equal to infinity, if we put z is equal to infinity, this part of the series becomes infinity. So in these two extreme situations, this power series does not converge. Okay, it does not give you any finite value, it becomes infinity. So this series is or you can say that the region of convergence is entire z plane except z is equal to 0 and z is equal to infinity. So if you say this to be z is equal to 0 and this extreme boundary to be z is equal to infinity, so below z is equal to infinity and exterior to z is equal to 0, each and every point in z plane comes under the region of convergence. Okay. So both the things are essential to describe any signal in z domain. Which thing? This form as well as the region of convergence. Okay. Both the identity are equally essential. Now if you look at another signal, x3n equals to 0, 0, 1, 2, 5, 7, 0 and 1. The same signal, but shifted in time by 2 unit, if you see. Okay. Here now n is equal to 0 is this, 1 is this, 2 is this, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay. So simply you can write down x3 z to be equal to n equals to -infinity to infinity xn, z is to the power -n. This is the defining relationship of your Z transform. So what comes out is x 0, Z is to the power minus 0, okay, plus, because this is meaningful only for n is greater or equal to 0, because there is no value before n is less than 0, okay. So x1 Z is to the power minus 1 plus x2 Z is to the power minus 2, x3 Z is to the power minus 3 plus x4 Z is to the power minus 4, x5 Z is to the power minus 5, and so on. x6 Z is to the power minus 6, and x7 Z is to the power minus 7. Up to this 7 we have the value of this signal, because it is a finite duration signal, okay. So x0 is 0, signal strength is 0, x1 signal strength is 0, not needed to write, x2 is 1, 1 Z is to the power minus 2, okay. Then x3 is 2 Z is to the power, 2 Z is to the power minus 3. Getting my point? This 2 is 1 Z is to the power minus 2, at 3 2 Z is to the power minus 3 plus 5 Z is to the power minus 4 plus 7 Z is to the power minus 5 and 0 Z to the power minus 6 and 1 Z to the power minus 7. So this is your Z transform. But this is not the complete Z transform. The Z transform takes its complete shape only if you specify the region of convergence also. So what will be the region of convergence if you look for the different values of Z? This power series converges for all value of Z except Z is equal to 0. Except Z is equal to 0. So at Z is equal to 0, this power series does not converge. This series does not converge. Okay. So the region of convergence is entire Z plane except Z is equal to 0. These were some finite duration signals. Now suppose we have another signal, unit impulse signal. Unit impulse signal means delta n. Delta n, the value of delta n happens to be 1 for n, for n equal to 0. For n is equal to 0. Okay. And its a value happens to be 0 for n for at any other n. Okay. At any other n, its value is 0, and at n is equal to 0, its value is 1. Okay. So if I am asking you to evaluate the Z transform of unit impulse signal, so suppose this is defined as x5n. So x5 Z. The defining relationship of Z transform gives us n is equal to minus summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity xn Z is to the power minus n. At any other n except n is equal to 0, its a value is 0. So meaningless to write. At n is equal to 0, its a value is 1. xn is 1. So 1 Z is to the power minus 0 or 0, and this happens to be equal to 1. Okay. So this is 1. So the Z transform of signal delta n is equal to 1, and this is the signal which has its region of convergence entire Z plane. No point has to be left. Okay. This is the signal which has its region of convergence entire Z plane. Okay. If we plot its a value, it will be 1 throughout. This is 1. It is having value 1. Okay. Now suppose if we shift this impulse by k unit, this is time k, and this signal is now called delta n minus k, delta n minus k. Okay, this is delta n minus k, the impulse shifted by k unit in time. What will be the jet transform of this signal? What will be the jet transform? It exists only for k. At any other value of time, it has value 0. Okay, so jet transform says that summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity xn, z is to the power minus n, and at at n equal to k, means at n equal to k, it has value 1. Okay, the signal delta n minus k here. Okay, better to write it in this form. N is equal to minus infinity to infinity delta n minus k and minus k. Okay, at any other n it will have value 0, so meaningless to write. So it will be value, it will offer a value 1 only for this moment, z is to the power minus k. So jet transform is z is to the power minus k, and the region of convergence is entire jet plane except z is equal to 0, except z is equal to 0, because this is equal to 1 over z to the power k. If z happens to be equal to 0, then this becomes infinity. Okay, so the entire jet plane comes under the region of convergence except z is equal to 0. Now suppose if the same impulse is shifted or advanced by k unit in time, this means this time it is known as delta n plus k, and it happens when it is shifted to minus k time. Okay, when it occurs at this instance, then what will be the value of jet transform? This will be delta n plus k, and z is power minus k. Okay, because it occurs at minus k, and meaningless to write other values. So it offers a value 1 and z is to the power k. So the z transform for this signal, z transform of delta n plus k equals to z to the power k. And what is the region of convergence? Region of convergence is entire z plane except z is equal to infinity, except z is equal to infinity. So entire z plane except this extreme z is equal to infinity. So the region of convergence is anterior to this boundary where z is equal to infinity. Okay. Now we will observe the z transform for a signal xn equals to half to the power n un. This is a signal half to the power n un, and we will find the z transform of this signal. So what the defining relationship for z transform says that xz equals to summation n equals to minus infinity to infinity xn, z is to the power minus n. And what this xn is, if we expand for n is equal to 0, its value is 1. Very first value is half, then half square, am I right? Then half cube going this way, half n. This way we can expand this signal. Okay. So if we expand it similarly over here, what will happen? And since un occurs over here, so this can be written as n equals to minus infinity to infinity half n un z is to the power minus n. Okay. This un, the condition of this un can be imposed over this summation. It can be translated in the summation itself. So summation ranges from n is equal to 0 to infinity. Now these conditions has been transferred, so it can further be written as half z inverse to the power n. Okay, half z inverse to the power n. Now we can assume this to be equal to say a. Now this power series can be written as a to the power 0 means 1 plus a square going this way, and this converges to a value 1 over 1 minus a provided mod a is less than 1. Okay, this is a GP and it has infinite number of terms, so it converges only to this value. Okay, so what happens? What is the value of a here? 1 over 1 minus half z inverse. Okay, provided this half z inverse is less than 1. What does it mean? It means that mod z is greater than half. Okay, this means the Z transform is this. The closed form of Z transform or mathematical expression for Z transform is this, but the region of convergence is this. So what this region of convergence says that we have basically Z is equal to, in polar form it can be expressed as r e to the power j theta, where mod Z equals to mod r, because e to the power j theta contributes only to the magnitude 1. Okay, so mod Z is equal to mod r. So mod r in polar coordinate should be greater or equal to a circle which is having radius half. So basically the region of convergence is exterior to this circle which is having radius half. Okay, getting this point? So now